This week on The Real Housewives of Dubai.
Caroline would call me crying and saying she's awful to me. And me, as her good friend, I backed her up. I stopped my friendship with Ayan and Lesa. Then Stanbury turns around and becomes besties
Yo, what's
with
up,
Ayan.
everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of Dubai. This is season 2, episode 3. Listen, last week was a little boring, and I said that, but this was a little bit more of an interesting episode. So let's get started. Alright, so we started the episode with Caro-line and Sergio. They are getting ready to move out of Michael's house. Michael is Caro-line's friend who was kind enough to let them live in his house while theirs is being constructed. They're going to have a party to celebrate that they are leaving and they are excited, but Caro-line is confused and tripped up about Caroline Brooks. Why is she so mad at her? Is she projecting her stress from her new business? Ayan just told Stanbury that Brooks said a bunch of bad words to her when she left. Caro-line says, listen, if drinking does that to you, I don't want another drink ever again. Then a therapist comes over to Stanbury. Now, this isn't just any therapist. She worked with Princess Diana. And they do some exercises because Stanbury wants to work on not being such a control freak. A lot of her problems stem from boarding school, which, side note, based on so many kids that have gone to boarding school, it looks like it really screws people up. But this therapist is good. In the session, Sergio comes up, and the therapist says that Caro-line is kind of acting like his mom because of how much she, has to be there for him. So she's going to need to stop micromanaging him and let him do his own stuff. When the therapist leaves, Sergio comes down and he kind of overheard this. He says that he doesn't think that Stanbury needs to stop micromanaging him. She says, I do, because I would become like your mom. And he says, I wouldn't tiki with my mom. Now, I'm sure y'all can imagine what tiki means. But Sergio, I think, likes to be micromanaged. Okay, moving on. It's a little later, and Brooks and Taleen go out with Lesa. Now, surprisingly, Brooks isn't drunk this time. So she's telling the ladies that she doesn't really remember what happened at Taleen's party, but Ayan did tell her that she called Stanbury the C word. Lesa is trying to figure out what's Brooks' issue with Stanbury because they were so tight. So Brooks says, well, Stanbury came for Taleen and my loyalties with Taleen. But the gag is Taleen ain't even bothered. So Taleen in the moment tells her, listen, I'm okay. Don't be mad for me. It's okay. We can just let this go. Now, Lisa Milan thinks that the real reason that Brooks is mad at Stanbury is because Stanbury is now friends with her and Chanel. Alright, so then the next day we see everyone start to get ready for Stanbury's party. They're calling it Michael's Good Riddance Party. Also, we're introduced to a girl named Saba, a Pakistani girl who is very good friends with Sara. Now, y'all know Sara loves to fix someone up. So when she gets there, she grabs Sergio to the side and says that, something is wrong. What is happening with you? And he says, well, somebody told Stanbury that eventually, if we continue how we are, it'll be like I'm marrying my mom. He says that hurt him and that he wanted to cry about this. Sara says that Stanbury needs to get over her trauma and not use Sergio as a punching bag. Now, I've noticed since last episode that Sara and Sergio are very close. Chanel walks on in as we expected her, overly camp. Now, Saba tells Sara that that's not really her type of people. Oh. It did look like a nice party, so then all the girls sit together, and Caro-line says, y'all know Brooks is not coming. And they're like, no, what do you mean? And Stanbury says, I uninvited her, and everyone's shocked. And they actually showed Caro-line, at least she had the decency to call Brooks on the phone and tell her, it probably just wasn't a good time to see each other right then. And I think that it kind of made sense why she did uninvite her. Now, the majority of the girls tell Stanbury that she probably shouldn't have done it because it's petty, and they think that this will make Brooks even more angrier. Saba was very vocal for someone who we just met, but I'm here for it. Lesa says that she tried to make Brooks take some accountability last time, but she didn't, and she says that Brooks is the common denominator of the problems in this group. Stanbury's friend Michael, he seems really fun. So he came out with a cake and everything. And also, by the way, Stanbury's daughter was throwing a lot of shade towards Sergio. But then they end the party by having fun, dancing. Sergio was thrown into the pool by Sara. by the way. So, speaking of Sarah, the next day she goes to get her hair done. She's there with her little boy. She's talking to him about this date that she's possibly going to go on with the man that Taleen introduced. This poor little kid is upset and says, I don't really want you to go on a date because all men have been bad to you. Damn, that's kind of sad. She says to him, not all men are bad. And then she tells him that they will try and find the perfect dad for him and the perfect husband for her. Then we see Lesa and her mom go shop in an area they called Old Dubai. Now, New Dubai is what you see with like the buildings and the high tech and all that. But Old Dubai is the heart of Arab culture. Vendors, merchants. Someone called Lesa Nicki Minaj as she was walking. So they're just shopping around. Then they go eat. Her mom looks really young. She looks like she could be on the show. So the mom says that she misses spending time like this with Lesa, like going out, eating, whatever. Lesa says, well, when are you moving to Dubai? Her mom asks, well, when are you coming home? So this is a hard conversation because Lesa really wants her mom to move there, but her mom has her whole life where she lives, like her job and everything. Lesa in her confessional tells us that her and her dad were very close when she was younger, but one day her mom found out that the dad had a whole secret family in Canada, and like that caused problems. The mom says, she will consider it, but she seemed a little hesitant. Lesa says that she will definitely stay in Dubai for at least 5 more years. Moving on, it's time for Sara Madani's date with the man that Taleen introduced. It's going to be a double date, so Rafi, Taleen are there, so they're going to be there with Sara and this man. This is a white man named Daniel, and he speaks a little Arabic. Sara starts talking to him in Arabic, but he's like, he can't really follow too much. But it helped that Taleen was there because she knows Daniel. But then here come the questions like, do you believe in aliens? What are these questions? But I did think it was kind of cute the way he was kind of like answering them and like, oh, maybe you can educate me on them. He's never dated a woman with kids, but then he made the comment that he doesn't think it'll be that different, which is not really true. And then he's a Libra, so whatever that means. These are Sara's 3 red flags. That he doesn't believe in aliens, that he said that dating a woman with kids is like the same as dating a woman with no kids, and that he's a Libra. Okay. When he goes into the bathroom, Sara says to Taleen that, maybe he could be a good friend of hers. So she's probably going to friend zone him. Last scene of the episode is Caro-line at some coffee shop meeting the other Caro-line, Brooks. Brooks was very late. She was about 30 minutes late. And when she gets there, Stanbury's like, you're late. And Caroline's Brooke says, yeah, I have the new hair care place and my son this and all that. And then Stanbury says, well, we all got stuff going on. Oh, but then they get into the real problem. So like, what even is the problem? So Brooks brings up this Taleen vagina thing. Ugh. Again, was it inappropriate for Stanbury to say it? Yes. Is it that serious for Caroline Brooks to be talking about it for 3 episodes now? No. And again, Taleen doesn't even care. There's clearly more. In her confessional, Stanbury tells us that she feels like friends should be loyal to each other. Now, this was making more sense. So Brooke says that she stopped being friends with Ayan and Lesa because they were being so horrible to Stanbury. So now that Stanbury's friends with them, it's like, what the hell? And I get that. But then in this little lunch, Stanbury says, you call me see you next Tuesday. And then Brooke says, well, yeah, that was horrible. So they kind of talked things through. They didn't really get anywhere. Well, they did sort of, but it's not like they're totally okay. I think that this thing with Ayan and Lesa is really, really bothering Brooks. And that was the end of the episode. So again, pretty good episode. Nothing too crazy, but I did enjoy it a little bit more. I kind of liked the scenes that we saw. As far as Chanel and Lesa, listen, they look so close. Like, even when Lesa was having lunch with her mom was like, Chanel's my favorite. So I am really looking forward to see how their relationship is going to dissolve, because by what we've seen in the past 3 weeks, it looks like they're really close, and they're getting close with Stanbury. I understand Brooks being mad, but I really don't know how Chanel, Ayan, and Lesa will ultimately fall out, because again, it seems like they're very close. But overall, really good episode. Taleen is doing a fantastic job. I feel like she's been here forever, even though she's new. We'll see if this new Saba girl is incorporated into the show anymore. But yeah, you guys, that was the end of the episode. Y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Did y'all enjoy it? What did y'all think about Stanbury and inviting Brooks? And what do you think of Brooks, her reason for being mad at Stanbury? So please let me know, you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.